So let's talk a little bit about pricing and the order process. So I've talked a lot about it. We want it to be simple. We want it to be consistent and cost effective. So what exactly does that mean? Customers are used to buying licenses for Office 365 this way. That's how they buy all their other licenses when they enable them per user. So that's the model that we wanted to use. It's very simple as well. They get sent the license keys, they go into the portal, they activate the license, and you'll see in a couple slides that we're going to be focused on a tiered volume-based licensing model that helps them enable users for this service. So for a pricing summary, again, this pricing is launched. It's available and can be quoted. It's based on the user number. So again, it's a per person per month licensing model. So if you've got a customer that has 5,000 users and they want to enable all 5,000, you're going to sell them 5,000 licenses. If you've got a customer that has 5,000 users and they really only think 2,000 are going to use it, you can sell them 2,000 licenses. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into that particular tier, if you will, and you're going to pick the number of licenses that you would sell them. And you're going to sell them either a 1-year or a 3-year contract. So as you can see, if we're looking at a 3-year contract and you're selling 4,000 licenses, we're down to, almost $2.14 per user, which is extremely aggressive. So what has the feedback from the customers been? They're looking to eliminate WebEx contracts. They're looking to eliminate PSTN conferencing and calling contracts and bring those in-house. When they do that with Skype for Business and use this service to enable their video endpoints, they're really realizing a significant ROI for them as they go to this model. Now, you'll see the footnote that we're still working through pricing council internally on what we're going to do for over 5,000 seats. So the feedback that we've gotten from customers is they're looking to have more custom pricing when they're over 5,000 seats based on the feedback that we've gotten from them. So what we've decided to do over the next, say, 2 to 3 months is anything over 5,000 seats, we're going to do custom pricing that's very specific to that customer. So if you do have an opportunity over 5,000 seats, please reach out to us and we will help you with that custom pricing. So you'll know exactly what you can put in front of the customer. But anything under 5,000 seats, you can go ahead and quote. A couple other questions that have come up is who gives support. So Polycom will be taking support for these customers. In addition to that, we will be enabling Advantage and Elite Premier if the customer requires that. If the customer wants to add licenses to the agreement during the year that they have the contract, we will be able to add those additional licenses. They'll just be co-termed with the original term. You'll see that we've skewed all of the services, that they include the services with the purchase of the specific tiers for the number of licenses they're going to buy. We're making this very easy for you to quote and deliver to the customer. Now let's talk about once you have got the order, what happens behind the scenes. So when you process the order to the distributor, you are going to have to include the end user customer name, contact name, email, and that's the global Office 365 IT admin email that we need. The reason for that is when we get the order and generate the keys, we send them directly to them. Once they get the license keys, they're able to go through and install, launch, etc., enter the activation code. When it's activated, then we will update the admin center. The service entitlement begins. We invoice you, the partner, and you invoice the customer. What's different if it's an add-on order? Same process, but we're going to also ask you for the customer's Microsoft tenant ID and their domain. The reason for that is you'll notice there's no license keys in this particular workflow sent to the customer. We've already sent them the original license keys. What we do is we go right into activating it on their tenant. So we give them those additional licenses. And then, again, we will invoice you and you're going to invoice the customer. So again, Net new orders, we just need the customer global IT admin's email and contact information. Add-on orders, we're going to also need that same information and the Microsoft tenant ID and the domain. If there's a renewal that's coming up after the 1 year or 3 year term, you will have access, just like any other subscription service we have, to see when the renewal is coming up due. You can process a purchase order for that renewal. Again, we're going to need the customer email, Microsoft tenant ID, and domain, and then we go in and we extend the term of those licenses. We invoice you, you invoice the partner. So I talked about a trial license. So next week on April 17th, well, depending upon when you are listening to this, we will also be able to take a $0 purchase order for trial licenses for the customer. And we can also do internal purchase orders for that as well. So you're going to submit it just like it's a net new order. So we're going to still need that end customer email. And then we're going to go in and provide them license keys for 5 licenses for a 30-day trial. So that's going to allow them to enable this for 5 users to start trialing this out around video interop for the 30-day trial process. When the trial completes or ends, then the licenses will expire. We are going to be watching this trial process very closely because our goal here is we really don't want the trial to expire. We want them to have the 30-day trial, and during that 30-day trial period, we want to have quotes going out to them, and we'd really like to be able to move them into a real production, have them purchase licenses from you, so we'll be helping you through this process with that 30-day trial process. Again, if the partner is submitting it's a $0 purchase order, and there is a SKU for this specific to the trial license. If a Polycom account manager is processing this, they're also going to have to include the internal Salesforce.com opportunity ID as well when they process that IPO.